What's going on, y'all, man? You know, you in the man cave, man, with ManCodeTV. We doing a live, recap of the last dance, man. The whole thing about with like Michael Jordan and those Bulls teams, man. Crazy, crazy series they got going on ESPN. I saw the last one last Sunday, and it had episodes 1 and 2, and then tonight they did episode 3 and 4. And man, it's just this is probably one of the best. You know how they do like recaps of teams and players and stuff like that, sports players and stuff like that, man. This is probably one of the best ones I've seen in a while. Especially of Jordan, because with Michael Jordan, they've done a lot of different stories and stuff on him. He's had a lot of different like series and stuff, what I'm saying, made about him. Like I think they got the Jordan Fly With Me or something like that. I've seen bits and pieces of some of those, but I never really been into, how they go back and make like a series of sports players and stuff like that. They'll go back and go through all the history and all the stuff that they did. I never really was like a fan of stuff like this, man. I never really, I don't know, like it's like I'll just go back on my own time and kind of go through games and stuff. But when they try to actually put it together and put the pieces together, never really was no fan of that. So, that never really was no thing with me. But man, this last dance joint though, man, ESPN doing, I gotta give it up to him, man. This is fly right here. Man, this is going off. Yeah, this is hype. So man, I didn't even know that it was gonna be like 2 episodes every Sunday thing. I thought they were just going to try to like get everything in, the first day. Like when they did it last Sunday, I thought it was going to be everything. They were just going to do the whole thing and that was going to be it. But it's cool. They giving you like little bits and pieces. So they, every Sunday they give you 2 episodes. Like I said, 1 and 2, like they do it the first hour for the first episode and the next one, it'll be the next hour. And it's normally starting at like 9:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, man. So if you're not checking that out, you got to go ahead and tune in, man. ESPN, Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not checking it out, man, you got to go ahead and check that out, man. If you're a basketball fan or whatever you are, man, you got to go ahead and check that out. But like, so, man, just watching it in like the first 2 episodes, we're going to go ahead and kind of go through that, man. Last week, like I said, I wasn't on here to do it, but man, I'm on here tonight, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of run through it. So, episodes 1 and 2, man. Last Sunday, what I'm saying, they give you kind of like the intro to Jordan, and like they go through everything as far as like the high school years, man, and whatnot, and like when he got cut, and how he just kept persevering, and he kept going with it. Like a lot of people, man, you don't really envision your favorite or one of the greatest, man, ain't no one of, man. Michael Jordan's the greatest basketball player ever to live. But you just don't think about these greats of games, you know what I'm saying? Football, basketball, hockey, man, whatever you watch. You just don't imagine them like in high school or junior high or whatever. You don't imagine them like getting cut from their team and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't imagine them being like human, where it's they just don't get it done, because you just always thinking of them like being superhuman, man. Every level they just dominate, and then when they get to like college and pro, you kind of get to see them and stuff, and because a lot of times you don't get to see them like high school. Like now you do, but back then, they weren't covering like high school players and stuff like that, so you didn't really get to see these guys, man, until they got to college. So you just like I said, you just imagine like Michael Jordan getting cut from a freaking team, but yeah, he was cut from the team. They showed all of that and how he like fought that whole summer to get better, came back, made a team, man, and after that, man, that was all she wrote as far as like the high school stuff, and then they show how he got like recruited to North Carolina. What's good, low key, man? I see you checking in, man. What's good? What's good? What's good? When I saw y'all had y'all little stream going, man, I figured you might pop in, man, on something like this. But yeah, man, so, man, salute to you, man, coming through. But yeah, man, so what I'm saying is that, like, they showed Jordan, man, when he got to UNC and whatnot, and he was doing his thing, like, but when you in college, man, you're not really, for NBA players, especially, man, for the elite players, man, you don't really get to see really how good they are, man, because when you in college, man, you got to play in that system, and you playing, especially you going to North Carolina, man, you playing with a whole bunch of cats, man. You playing with a whole bunch of dudes like at one time, man, I think back then, man, he was playing with like James Worthy. Damn, man, they had a bunch of dudes, man, playing on that North Carolina team. You had to go through and look, man, they had a lot of dudes that played on this team that was still like, balling when they got to the NBA. But what I'm saying is, like, in college, you don't really get to see these guys just going off. Like in the NBA is more like one-on-one. But, in college, man, it's more like a team game there. They want you to pass the ball around. They want a lot of guys to touch the ball. They want you to run the offense, man. That's how it is in college. You can still see the guys' talent, but it's not as free-flowing as it is in, like, the NBA. So, you talking about that? We're talking about Zion, man. I'm gonna say something on him in a minute, man. But yeah, man. So you don't really get to see him in that team game like you do in the NBA, man. It's more, college, man. They everybody got to kind of do a little something, man. But even in college, man, Jordan showed what he could do, though. He hit one of the most iconic shots, game winners, man. In college, so he was kind of on his way in. You was kind of starting to see it. But I mean, when he got to the NBA, man, what I'm saying, Jordan it was showtime then. What I'm saying? He could really show what he could do. It's kind of like taking them training wheels off. He came through, man, and I mean, the rest is history. But it's this whole Last Dance is cool though, man, because they let you know about Scottie Pippen too. In episode 1 or 2, man, they let you know about Scottie Pippen and how important he was, man, to the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? Like, without Pippen, man, Jordan wouldn't have won all them damn championships. Not that we know of, because, we really didn't get a chance to see Jordan by himself for real. Like when he was playing with the Wizards after he got done playing with the Bulls, he was way on the back end, man. Jordan was really done at that point, man. He kind of was he was playing, man, for the love of the game, and he kind of wanted to mentor a lot of dudes, man, on like the Wizards. So, he was doing his thing then, and, just on that like kind of mentorship kind of deal, So you didn't really get a chance to see Jordan by himself without Pippen. But he could have, come on, man, Jordan could have did it with somebody else. He made Pippen what Pippen was. Pippen did not come in as no super duper star, man. He came from like a small school. I think it's like Central Arkansas, something like that, So he coming from like a small school, but he had a lot of talent, a lot of potential. And, going to the Bulls and playing with Jordan, Jordan, man, he made his teammates better, man. And see, that's when we get into the whole discussion, man, because, I was on my man Ticket TV. He had me come on his show, just like a person come on his thing or whatever, little panel. And me and Ticket was going back and forth, man. Shout out to Ticket TV, man. Cool ass dude. But and we was going back and forth, but we was going back and forth about Kobe and LeBron. We wasn't going back and forth with like Jordan and nobody like that, because Jordan is the greatest. Ain't no doubt about that. Jordan, #1 best player of all time, man, ain't even close. You know what I'm saying? LeBron doing his thing, but he ain't no freaking Jordan, man. Jordan 6-0 in the finals. Ain't never go to no game 7. Did a 3-peat twice. Had that 3-peat, took like 2 years off, came back, did another 3-peat. Come on, man. That the GOAT. Who do 2 3-peats, bro, in your career, man? That's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, that's what it is. So, but yeah. So, man, ain't nobody better than Jordan, man. I don't care what nobody talking about. I don't care what nobody's saying. Man, Jordan is the standard. and all these other dudes like LeBron and KD and all these folks, man, they just trying to get to Jordan level. They not on his level. You know, they ain't. They aspire to be that, but man, I don't see nobody out there now that could be what Jordan was, future, whatever you want to call it, man. I don't see nobody coming close to that man legacy. You know, that's just next level. You know what I mean? So you have a lot of discussions or whatever. And like I said, I was arguing about who was better, Kobe or LeBron. And as I said before, man, Kobe is my favorite player. But LeBron is better than Kobe. I mean, I seen both of them play. I seen them play. I seen them go up head to head. And from what I see, and what I had saw, whatever, I mean, LeBron is a better overall player, man. He don't have the killer instinct that Kobe has, but overall, LeBron is a better player. And yeah, but that gap between like a Kobe and LeBron to like a Jordan is, man, that gap is still pretty big, man. That's, you talking about a living legend, man, like straight up, like the father of all basketball players. I mean, he was doing moves that you see a lot of dudes doing now, but he was doing them. He was a creator of a lot of this stuff, man. You had guys before Jordan like Dr. J. Dr. J did his thing. He was doing like the crazy dunks and whatnot, you know, Dr. J, and he was doing the windmills and all that. But Jordan, man, he took it to another level. He perfected it and he polished it, man. That athletic guard, man, he just made it what it was, man. Like you had like these 6'6" athletic guys, like back in the day, man. You had a lot of smaller guards, man, because really you wanted your point guard and you wanted your shooting guard, man. Those dudes were always smaller, you know. But Jordan and Pippen, man, they kind of ushered in. And then I got to give it up to Magic as well, because Magic was a big guard. Magic was like 6'9" playing point guard. So this whole kind of era, man, that Jordan and even, like I said before him, like Magic, they started kind of ushering in like these bigger guards, man, athletic guys. Because before that, it was always small little guards, you know. So, you know, that's what was kind of ushered in with like Jordan and his era, like a bigger guard, athletic. And Jordan took the athletic to a whole nother level. Like I said, a lot of the guys that you see now doing the crazy dunks, man, come on, man, they all inspired by Jordan. All that stuff is inspired by Jordan. You know, but man, getting back to the series, but yeah, man. So, like I said, man, in the first 2 episodes, man, they were talking about like Pippen as well. I got off track, but I'm back. You know, they talking about Pippen and how much he meant to the Bulls, man. And I mean, like I said, he became a better player playing with Jordan, no doubt. And then they talked about, you know, Scottie Pippen and I didn't even know this. I didn't know how they were lowballing Scottie Pippen with his contract, man. I mean, he was getting paid damn near nothing, man. I didn't look at the particulars of the contract. I saw it, but I know it was low. It was like 8 years, man. He's getting like, I don't know, $5, $6, $7 million for the whole 8 years or something crazy, man. And you know, Pippen got real resentful about that, man. You know, he didn't want to play for the Bulls no more, man, because that how they want to renegotiate the contract. I didn't even know all that. I didn't know that happened. I had heard rumblings about that, but I didn't even know that really happened like that. So, you know, I didn't hear a lot about the whole contract stuff until I seen the episode, which was real crazy. And I didn't even know how Pippen that got so mad. You know, he was going at Jerry Krause, man, I think the general manager at the time for the Bulls. And he was just like, he hated the dude for not helping to renegotiate the contract. You know, he was going at the guy, talking mad shit about him. They get on a bus, he'd curse the dude out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Scottie wasn't playing. Because Scottie at that point, he had built himself up to being like one of the best players in the league. You know, and Scottie Pippen, they ain't want to pay the dude. You know, so shit, I don't blame him. Man, you had like Scottie Pippen, he had his Scottie Pippen, he had his family back home, and his dad had a stroke, and then one of his brothers had gotten some kind of like accident or something. So, he had bills and stuff. He had some people he had to take care of back home, man. And you know how it is when dudes get money. These athletes, man, they want to take care of their parents, man, and their family, brothers and sisters if they can do it. So that's what Pippen was trying to do, but he wasn't making what he was supposed to be making, man. I mean, he's making pennies for the type of player he was. He was one of the top players in the league at that point. And he was getting paid nothing, man, on that long-ass 8-year contract. Crazy. And then, they show where Jordan was coming, came to the Bulls. He came into a losing team. Like, the Bulls was nothing. The Bulls were garbage. Before Jordan got there, the Bulls weren't nobody. They wasn't winning no championships. They weren't on the map. They won none of that. Losing franchise, man. And Jordan came through and just changed everything. Now, when you think about the Bulls, you think about like excellence. You thinking about 6 championships. They got the man statue out in the front of the freaking arena. You know what I'm saying? Before that, nobody ain't care about no damn Chicago Bulls. Shit, when Jordan was doing his thing, though, man, when people was like the jackets and stuff and all the little warm-ups and stuff, man, come on. Everybody had that red, black, and white, man, and that damn bull symbol. Everybody was rocking them joints. Everybody was rocking everything Bulls. I mean, they made the Bulls into like a marquee franchise. It seemed like overnight. Man, shit was crazy. Shit real crazy. And then they show a 2, man, in episode 1 and 2, like how Jordan got hurt and how he played through his injuries. And 2, I think when the first year he got there, man, Jordan had got hurt, and they didn't want him to come back and play because I think the Bulls wanted to lose because if you lose and you have a worse record, the next year, man, you'll be in a lottery and you can pick like a top 10 player or something like that. If your record is bad enough. So they was kind of thinking that because Jordan was like the only real good player on the team. Because when they first drafted Jordan, because at that point Scottie Pippen wasn't on the team yet. You know what I'm saying? So they showed that, man, how he played through injuries and how he willed the Bulls to the playoffs, even though they didn't want to make the playoffs. And they said Jordan did that because he was kind of mad at the franchise for trying to like lose on purpose. And Jordan was about that, man. He wasn't about that. Jordan was about winning. So he wasn't feeling that. He made them damn dudes make the damn playoffs as soon as he got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, nah, man, we not tanking, as a lot of people say now. We're not going to be tanking, man, to get to no damn, to get to a high pick in a lottery, So, but anyway, they eventually end up picking up Pippen, man, and, that was the start of it. Jordan and Pippen, shoot, just like you see in my, the avatar, man, or the thumbnail for this video. Yo, Pippen, man. Yo, Pippen. My man Pip. He is a freaking linchpin for that team. So, man, like I said, it wouldn't be no Bulls without Pippen. And it wouldn't be no Bulls without Jordan. So, yeah, you already know. All right, so basically, man, I mean, that was pretty much the wrap up, for episode 1 and 2, man. Kind of let y'all know what's going on, man. If you ain't been checking them out, if you have, man, you know what I'm talking about. So, boom, we get to tonight's episodes 3 and 4. It was popping off. And this one, tonight's episodes, whatever, like, they started off, man, with Dennis Rodman. Man, Dennis Rodman, the Worm. One of the best defensive players, man, in the league, man, has ever seen. One of the best, most ferocious rebounders, man, you ever seen. My man, Dennis Rodman, weird as hell, a weird-ass dude. But, hey, he did his thing, though. One of the greatest players, man, ever to play, man, especially, like I said, defensively and rebounding. If you need rebounds and you need defense, man, Dennis Rodman, like I said, a.k.a. the Worm, is going to get you. He's going to get you them rebounds. and he gonna defend the other team's best player. He gonna lock them down. Especially, my man, I think Dennis Rodman was a power forward. And so he was guarding power forwards. Shit, I think he was guarding small forwards, and he was guarding centers too. They would put Rodman on anybody because he was that ferocious of a rebounder and a defender, man. He did his thing. So, but the crazy thing is, Dennis Rodman started off with the Detroit Pistons. He started off with them, and then that was a team that was going against the Bulls when the Bulls was first coming up, when Jordan first got there. And, Jordan was trying to lead the Bulls to their first championship, and they kept running into the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons, man, was like, yeah, they was kicking everybody's ass, man. They was just a physical team, whooping your ass, knock you down, punch you in your face. They ain't care, man. The Detroit Pistons back then, man, you can't even play like that now. You know what I'm saying? You can't even play like that now. So how they were playing, man, that style is outdated. You can't rough folks up. You can't put your hands on people. You can't hand check people now. They call a foul, man, in 2 seconds. You can't do none of that. So that's what it is. As far as like Detroit, they was no joke. And then Detroit, they won 2 back-to-back championships, man. They call Detroit Pistons the bad boys, man. And like I said, this is going on in the 90s. And they call them the bad boys because they'll beat you up. They wasn't just going to beat you, man. They was going to beat you up. They're going to beat up your best players, and they wasn't going to let you do what you wanted to do. And that's how they was beating. They was beating people with their defense. They wasn't no flashy team or nothing. You had like Isaiah Thomas, point guard. You had my man Vinnie Johnson coming off the bench. You had Dennis Rodman. You had John Sally on that Detroit team, man. Like I said, they won back-to-back championships. And they was doing their thing. I said, this is these Detroit Pistons. But eventually, like I said, they beat the Bulls and Jordan 2 times in a row. They just boom. But that third year, Jordan and them, they took it to the next level, man. That's when the Bulls came of age, and they beat the hell out of Detroit that third time they played them in the playoffs. And after that, man, the Bulls went ahead and went on to beat them. And then they beat the Lakers the next year for their first championship. And that was like the start of it all. So, I mean, that's really what was going on, man, in episode 3 and 4. Let me try to think anything else was popping in this episode. Well, then they showed where Dennis Rodman, because he started off with Detroit. Like I said, they played the Bulls. They beat the hell out of the Bulls first few years, man. Jordan got in the league. And then the Bulls beat them. But, Dennis Rodman was on Detroit then. So some years later, man, like I said, the Bulls, they did their three-peat. Some years later, when I say three-peat, I mean they won 3 in a row for people that don't follow basketball like that. So Dennis Rodman, after Detroit ended up kind of breaking up, he ended up getting on the Bulls like years later. So he's teaming up with, you got Jordan, Pippen, and Dennis Rodman. You know what I'm saying? That's like the big 3. So that big 3, when he got on the Bulls, they were like, oh, damn, man, this is going to be crazy. But Dennis Rodman is a weird dude, so people ain't know if that, if it was going to work. They ain't know if that combination of guys was going to work like that. So it was kind of, everybody kind of wanted to see. But, Dennis Rodman, he's a weird guy, man. A guy that like to party, earrings all in his nose and his lips and his, his ears. He may have tattoos all over his body. What's crazy about Dennis Rodman, when I noticed watching this, is Dennis Rodman. He looks like, now this back in the 90s, Dennis Rodman, he looks like somebody from now. Because back then in the 90s, dudes was not wearing tattoos like that. Tattoos was not a cool thing. Earrings all in your nose, that was not a cool thing. People back then looked down on stuff, man. You was like a weirdo. But now you got tattoos and all that stuff. You like a normal everyday person now. You know what I'm saying? You in with the in crowd. But back then, That dude was an outcast. People was like, yo, why is his hair blonde and why is it red today? Why is it yellow and blue the next day? Like, he just Dennis Rodman, he moved to his own beat, man. Nobody told Dennis Rodman what to do. You know, he did his own thing. Nobody told Dennis Rodman nothing to do. You told him what to do, he gonna do the opposite. You tell him to go left, he going right. You tell him to go right, he going left. That's just how Dennis Rodman was, and no one could really contain him. What's crazy though, with that crazy personality, how he fit in with the Bulls. Like my man Phil Jackson, man, coach of the Bulls at the time, he was able to rein them in. And what they were saying is that, like, Phil Jackson, man, during his time, like I said, he was a coach of the Bulls in all 6 of their championships. How they let Dennis Rodman kind of just do what he wanted to do. They knew he was kind of weird and strange. He wouldn't show up on time for games and stuff like that. He wouldn't show up on time for like practices, all that kind of stuff. But they said when it was crunch time and they needed him, Dennis Rodman was always there. He'd be kind of goofing off a lot of times, like I said, practices and all that. But Dennis Rodman, as weird as he was, he knew when it was game time, he was there. He knew when it's time to be serious, he was there. He was doing what he had to do, man, to help them boys win 3 more championships. So Dennis Rodman helped spear 3 more championships. That was that second three-peat that Jordan and the Bulls went on. You know, and I got to give up props to my man Dennis Rodman because he dated Carmen Electra. He dated Madonna too, but he dated Carmen Electra. Man, go back and look up who Carmen Electra was. She's one of the baddest chicks, man, straight up. Carmen Electra, one of the baddest females, man, straight up. So Dennis Rodman, if nothing else, he always get props from me, man, for dating Carmen Electra. Carmen Electra, one of the baddest females I've seen, man, period. I don't care if it's past, present, future, man. She's just, Carmen Electra, one of the first like kind of exotic women, man, that everybody kind of went crazy about. So, man, Carmen Electra, go back. If you ain't seen her, man, go back and look at some of her old pictures. She is bad. You know, she don't look bad now. You know, she's older now. But back then, man, Carmen Electra was like, I don't even know who somebody I can compare her to, but put it like this. If Carmen Electra was around now with Instagram and all that, come on. It's over. Carmen Electra had like 1 million subscribers, man. She'd be killing the OnlyFans and all that. Dudes would be throwing all kind of money at her, man. She'd easily have 1 million followers. She was super bad back then. She was the it girl for a long time, man, when she was around, man. Carmen Electra. Like I said, look that chick up if you don't know who she is. Super bad. So really, I was in and out on this episode, man. That was really what they kind of went through with the for tonight's episode, man, which is episodes 3 and 4, man. So I hit that for y'all. You know, like I'm a sports dude. I'm I love women. I love everything, man. I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? This is how we are, man. We multifaceted, man. That's what ManCodeTV is about. We do everything over here, man. We don't just do like talking about women. I do a lot of that, man. I give a lot of guys a lot of advice on relationships, dealing with women, and just dating, not just relationships, just dealing with dating. Man, you trying to just smash them. You know what I'm saying? You trying to bang them out, fuck them, whatever you're trying to do. If you want a relationship, I kind of give you a little bit on that as well, man. Me personally, I just kind of like this, man. A lot of these women not even worth relationships, man. To me, they just like, sexual objects, man, that you just have fun with and you go for as long as it lasts, and then you just kind of move on when it gets stale, man. So my thing is always, when you're dealing with women, is that there's an expiration date. And once that expiration date, just like milk, man, once that shit expires, man, you throw that shit in the garbage and you move on and get you another fresh carton of milk. That's how I view women. My overall view of women. But yeah, like I said, ManCodeTV, man, when you come here, you basically just think about you in your own man cave, man. You can come here, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, man. Get in that chat, man. I'm gonna start opening up this panel. I'm gonna have dudes coming on the panel. I'm gonna start going live more. I already got a lot of content, man. Y'all can check out. It's a lot more content coming up, man. My goal is to be the biggest channel for men to come and just hang out at, man. This is the hangout spot, man. Like I said, you get away from your women, you get away from all your problems, man, you got going on, man. We come here, we're gonna have a good time, we're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna talk about sports, like I said, women. Man, my favorite sports is college football, college basketball, NBA, NFL. Love those sports, man. You know, so that's what you're gonna get here at ManCode TV. You're gonna get some of everything. We're gonna talk about everything. You wanna talk about some politics or whatever for a minute? Yo, we can get into that. But everything we do here is gonna be coming from a man's perspective. Like I said before, women do not come in on my panels. They do not get a voice here as far as like being on a panel talking. They can come in and chat. You know, ladies, y'all welcome to come in and chat. But as far as like getting on panels, man, I don't allow women to come on my panels, man. This is a ManCode TV zone. This is a man cave. You know what I'm saying? This is where we get down at, where we let loose at, where you could be a man and talk how you want to talk. Nobody gonna tell you, oh, don't say this, don't say that. Nah, we're not doing that here, man. Talk how you want to talk. Be how you want to be, man. This is what we doing over here, man. So get on now, man. That train is leaving the station. You know, get on, sub to the channel, man. Like my videos, man. The more y'all like my videos, share my videos, man, the bigger my channel gets, man. And the more content, man, y'all gonna get. Also, man, you know, if you want to donate to the channel, man, I got my links in my in the description. I'm gonna leave them in the description of this video as well. You know, I got my PayPal, I got my Cash App, man. Y'all can hit that, man, if y'all want to, man. Donate, that's cool. That just helps the channel, you know, help me make the channel bigger and better. But man, like I said, I'm trying to do something that's never been done, man, on YouTube. I don't know of a channel that's really just geared towards men, and we drive and make it what it is. And that's what ManCode TV is about, and that's what it's going to be about. And I want to be the biggest thing on YouTube, man. So help make me what I'm trying to help make my vision what it should be. Help make us what we want it to be. You know, tell your friends about it, man. Tell y'all your boys, man, all your guys, man. Tell them about ManCode TV, because we're going to make this thing big, man. I want everybody to be a part of it. So, man, with that, you know what I always say, man, if you stay on code, you ain't got to get on code. And with that, I'm gone.